Thank you for being patient tonight as we assemble for this very special evening. We appreciate it. My name is Heather Patterson, and I am the principal of Perry High School. I would like to welcome you as our guests as we dedicate our gymnasium to Mr. Dan Serrano. Will you please stand and remove your hats as Kylie Merrill, Perry High School senior, sings the national anthem. Thank you, Kylie. That was beautiful. Before we dedicate the gymnasium, I would like to recognize some of our special guests that are in attendance tonight. Chandler Unified Board Member, Ms. Laura Bruner. Chandler Unified Superintendent, Mr. Frank Narducci. Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Education, Dr. Craig Gilbert. Dr. Castile, former Chandler Unified Superintendent. And of course, Mr. Dan Serrano, his wife Cindy, and their family. From the town of Gilbert, the mayor, Miss Bridget Peterson. From the city of Chandler, the mayor, Mr. Kevin Harkey. Council member O.D. Harris. Council member Mr. Rene Lopez. And Council member Ms. Christine Ellis. Thank you for joining us on this incredibly special evening. I would like to welcome Mr. Frank Narducci, the Superintendent of Chandler Unified District, to the podium for the reading of the resolution.
Thank you, Mrs. Patterson, and thank you for preparing for this special evening. It is a special night indeed, as we dedicate and we celebrate Mr. Dan Serrano. I'd like to say a few words. Our board had already done the resolution, but I'd like to read it on behalf of our board. Dan Serrano was born and raised in Kearney, Arizona, a small mining town east of the valley. He graduated a Bearcat from Ray High School in 1981, and subsequently earned both his bachelor's and master's degrees from Northern Arizona University. He began his 36-year career in education as a fourth grade teacher and eventually transitioned to high school as a special education teacher and coach. Mr. Serrano served in various leadership roles before becoming the principal of Perry High School. He was the assistant principal athletic director at Yuma High School, the assistant principal and athletic director, and eventually the principal at McClintock High School in Tempe, Arizona. And over 11 years at McClintock High, he became a mentor to teachers, aspiring administrators, and was a valued member of the community. Mr. Serrano became the principal of Perry High School in 2006 and immediately began laying a strong foundation for the future. Pride, progress, and purpose, the motto of the school, is the essence of what guided him as he worked diligently to ensure students, staff, and faculty had the resources they needed to be successful. Mr. Serrano's door was always open, and he is known as a kind, compassionate leader who treats everyone with dignity and respect. Supporting students has always been of great importance to Mr. Serrano. As a prior coach and special education teacher, he was instrumental in initiating the Unified Sports program at Perry, which to this day gives him much pride as it combines his love for sports with one of his favorite groups, our special education students. He founded the special needs, he found that special needs students a continual source of daily joy. Often he could be found in the classroom or lunchroom chatting with students. He would share in their celebrations and often included in barbecues, pancakes, cookies, and ice cream parties. It's a lot of eating, Mr. Serrano. In addition to managing one of the largest high schools in the state of Arizona, Mr. Serrano is also an active member of his community. He served on the Arizona Interscholastic Association board for 2 terms, the first as a board member and the second term as the vice president and then president. Mr. Serrano has been deservingly recognized for his work in education by the following organizations: the Arizona Thespian Principal of the Year, Grand Canyon STEM Educator of the Month, City of Chandler Chamber of Commerce Administrator of the Year, Sun Lakes Rotary Ruler of the Month, and most recently, the Arizona National Association of Secondary School Principals Principal of the Year. Mr. Serrano will confidently acknowledge he has found success in his career due to the strong support of his family and faith. He has been married to his wife, Cindy, for nearly 30 years. Together, they find happiness in the simple things in life. Their 4 children, Nick, DJ, Tanner, and Allie, all agree their father is the most reliable man they have ever met. They have thrived under his constant love and support. Family is and always has been first for Mr. Serrano. His deep love and affection for his tight-knit family is apparent in everything that he does. In appreciation for his remarkable contribution to Perry High School, the community, and Chandler Unified School District as a whole, it is with great pleasure that we officially name the gymnasium in his honor, the Dan Serrano Gymnasium. The gym is central to many students' activities: the senior assembly, the unified sports, 8th grade open house, freshman orientation, and much more. As a leader who devoted so many hours to the activities in this facility, it is only fitting that this gymnasium be named in his honor. See, Dan, I knew I'd get 2 applauses for you out of that. However, I'd like you to come up and give you more time here to talk a little bit. Heather, are you okay?
Okay, welcome. First of all, I'd like to just welcome the basketball fans here who didn't realize that they were going to have to come listen to me talk for a bit, but I'll be quick. Thanks, Heather Patterson, for everything. Appreciate it. Coach Ernst and the Toros. Coach Ernst has won 8 state championships in his career at Mount View. So I did some research, and I said, well, how many has Sammy Dwayne won? So I called his dad today, and he said, well, he's only won 4. So, Coach Dwayne, you guys got some work to do. But his dad has won 4, so between Sammy Dwayne and his dad, they have matched Coach Ernst. So, I'm going to tell you the story about the crutches, because I'm tired of telling it. Back in 2007, when I opened the school, I had some surgery from mountain biking in my foot, so I opened the school with these crutches. Then this is kind of funny. When they were putting up the signage, a student asked the coach, she goes, "Oh my God, did he die?" Because in some districts you have to die in order for that to happen. But I almost did. I noticed one day that the sign wasn't straight out there, so I decided to get a ladder and climb up and fix it. And I fell, and I broke my leg, and I have 7 screws and a plate in my right knee. Or you can believe I was hanging Christmas lights, decided to step on a garbage can, and the wheels came out, and I fell, broke my knee, have 7 screws and a plate. So pick the one that you want. So I'm coming in with these crutches, and I'm going out with these crutches. I do have a few words. It turned into a lot of words after we did some editing. But thank you, Superintendent Narducci and the Chandler Unified School District Governing Board for this prestigious honor. Just stay with me. I am humbled beyond imagination. This is, by far, the highlight of my 36 years in education. It isn't lost on me that this recognition isn't just about me. It's about the people who have been part of my life for 59 years. Individuals and groups who have guided me on this lifelong journey. I am fortunate and thankful for all of you in attendance tonight because every one of you has contributed in some way to this dedication of the gym tonight. I want to take a few moments to recognize these people and events for which I'm grateful. I was born in the blue-collar mining town of Kearney, Arizona, where many of my friends' parents worked in the copper mines of Kearney and Hayden. I witnessed these parents work long, hot days and nights during my 18 years growing up in Kearney. I'm thankful I came to understand the true meaning of blue-collar work ethic. I am blessed that I had a role model, my dad, Lalo, who's not here. He spent his 35-year career as a teacher, head football and track coach, principal, and superintendent, all at Hayden High. I remember watching his football games as a very young child. Despite having his left arm amputated before his senior year in high school, my dad was named as an all-state offensive lineman, whereas before he was a running back. He fumbled too much with one arm, so they moved him. He was also one of the greatest fast-pitch softball players ever to play in Arizona. He is in the Arizona Hispanic Sports Hall of Fame, and the Hayden High School football stadium is named in his honor. I did my best to follow his footsteps. A special note to my mom, Kathy. Thanks for raising us the right way. As Dr. Castillo said, every successful man has a wife to thank for doing most of the work while raising a family. My mom was that kind of wife. To my dad and a dedicated mother to her children. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for all your support throughout my career. I'm thankful for several of my childhood friends and coaches that are here tonight. We made the most of growing up in our small rural town. We had some good times, won a few state championships, and lost a few state championships. These childhood friends will last a lifetime. Coach Hurt, who couldn't come tonight, was my first administrative job as an assistant principal athletic director at Yuma High. I moved down and lived with him for a semester, and I'm thankful that Coach Hurt, who was also an administrator in Yuma, taught me the ropes on how to become a good administrator. To my colleagues from the Tempe Union High School District and McClintock High School, where I spent 11 and a half years as administrator, thanks for your continued support, and we had a good ride. I spent 15 years as the principal of this great high school. First, Dr. Castile. Stand up, please. Thanks for trusting me to be the first principal of Perry High School 16 years ago. Your assistance and support enabled me to do my job to the best of my ability and be successful. You always had my back in the good times and the tough times. You provided me with the tools and support that I needed to be successful. You always pushed me to make Perry High School a top school in Arizona, and I'm confident that we achieved that goal. Dr. Gilbert, thanks for your support as my direct supervisor during my tenure. And he's still my boss, even though I moved. You had high expectations of me, yet you gave me the autonomy to meet those expectations in the way I thought best. Thank you, Dr. Gilbert. Donna Murdoch. Where's Donna? Stand up, Donna. Thanks for doing the work to get this done tonight. I appreciate that. What a ride. Donna's the rock here. I'm number 2. Everyone knows that works at Perry. It's Donna, and then it was Dan. And now it's Donna, and now it's Heather. But thank you, Donna, for everything. Thank you to the best student body, staff, assistant principals, and community that a principal could wish for. You made this school what it is, the best in the state. You made it easy to be the principal here. I'm almost done, promise. This gymnasium is the cornerstone of Perry High. So much student life takes place in this building. We have watched several of our sports teams move on to state tournaments, held pep rallies, dances, and honored both athletes and student scholars alike. More than anything, I owe this night to my amazing family. They have endured 30 plus years of working around my schedule of nights and weekend obligations, all numerous interruptions to a normal family life. Finally, the best for last. Thanks to my beautiful wife, Cindy, for being by my side every step of the way. Like my mom being the pillar of strength for my dad, you have been my strength and been by my side through this journey in wonderful times and challenging times. I will never forget that. I love you. Okay. Okay, thank goodness I'm done. Thanks for coming tonight. Heather, thanks for all that you've done for me as my assistant principal and making this class act tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in the gymnasium, in the naming of our gymnasium dedication tonight. Pride, Progress, Purpose has been the motto of Perry High School since we opened our doors for students in the fall of 2007. Due to his vision and leadership, the legacy of Mr. Serrano, the very first Perry Puma, will continue. Thank you for joining us, and have a good evening.